Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing a video I'm so excited to do, and it's all about the products in my collection that I can't live without. Things that I find myself repurchasing or missing when they're gone, things that I need to have in my life and continue to repurchase and can't live without. So I hope that sounds like something that you're interested in. I have a little bit of everything here: makeup, tools, hair product, all the things. So please stick around. I would love to have you join me today. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a field leader for Ulta Beauty. Get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education here on my channel, but ultimately I'm just out here talking about makeup because I love to talk about makeup, and I'm assuming if you're here, you probably also like to talk about makeup as well. And I'd love it if you hit me up in the comment section, because I'm still in a place where I'm responding to every single one of you in the comment section. I would love to have a conversation down there. But also, I would just love to welcome you into my fam here on YouTube. So I hope that you're in it for the day, and if you are, let's jump into this video. Okay, so I keep going around and grabbing things, and I just need to stop because otherwise this video is going to be 400 years long. So let's start with some hair stuff, because I feel like I could get through that really rather quickly. First things first, if you guys are not new to my channel, you know about these things, but this is the Care Color Conditioner. This is a color depositing cleanser for your hair. And you can use it if you do not have color in your hair, and it's going to give you a little bit of an oomph to your hair. But I use this stuff to keep my hair vibrant from color to color. You guys see me go through the ringer as far as color in my hair goes, and I like all different colors. This is probably the most subdued it's been in a very long time, but I kind of dig it. It's got a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, a little bit of black in there. It's got a lot of bit of purple, which is why my fingers look purple all the time right now, because the color is still fresh and new and whatnot. But as we start to draw near time for me to get my hair redone, I start using a color depositing shampoo or cleanser by Care Color, because these are by far the best, in my humble opinion, of keeping your hair vibrant without it like all washing down the drain and cleansing out of your hair and getting all over your pillows. A lot of color depositing cleansers do like bleed all over the place. This one I don't find does. And I can go a good 12 weeks utilizing this stuff, and my hair still looks like it did the day it got done. Really vibrant, really beautiful, and it feels clean. That is a big thing for me. So much so that I also have this one, which is clear, because I utilize it in my hair when it's first done to cleanse my hair so that it doesn't strip my hair of the color that's in it. This is one of the only products that I have found on the market for cleaning my hair that doesn't strip the color out of my hair as I wash it. I love this stuff so much, and if you're not new around here, you know, because I talk about it all the time. Speaking of shampoos and conditioners that I really love to use, I also really love the Rakuten Acidic Bonding Concentrate shampoo and conditioner. I feel like this does a really good job. It's a bonding shampoo, right? So I feel like it does a really good job of keeping my hair healthy, even though I am stripping it every like 8 to 12 weeks down to pure blonde and then building back up the color. Like, I do a lot of stuff to my hair that really should lend to my hair being ultimately pretty damaged, and it's not. And I do think a lot of that stems from the usage of these products. Now, I know that a lot of people use Olaplex, and I'm not opposed to Olaplex. I like Olaplex as well, but I really like these. And for the value, I just find that there is a lot more value in this and this size than there is in the Olaplex shampoos and conditioners, if I'm if I'm honest. They're tiny and cost approximately the same amount of money as these guys do, and these last me forever. Now, my shampoo routine may not look like yours. Those bottles do last me quite some time because I'm not washing my hair maybe every other day like a lot of people do. I have trained my hair. It took a while to get it to this point, but I've trained my hair to do that. And honestly, it is clean because I keep it clean with things like dry shampoo in between washes. These help keep my hair healthy and not breaking and not brittle and not dry, even though I am taking my hair clear to white blonde and then building it back up every 6, 8, 12 weeks. My favorite dry shampoo would be this guy here. This is the IGK First Class. It says deep cleanse level detoxifying oil erasing scalp smoothing. I feel like this does a really good job of keeping the oiliness at bay if there is any oiliness, but there's also not a white cast to this. And when you have vivids in your hair, like white cast is so apparent. It's like putting, you know, a mica on black hair. You can see that white cast. This doesn't do that. And what I also find is that when I do work out, this is a great dry shampoo to use because it just soaks up not only the oils on my scalp, but also the sweat. Like, it is a really great dry shampoo. Doesn't leave a dirty, nasty film on my hair, and it smells amazing. My hair is never dirty, even though I only wash it once every 10 days. This is an amazing dry shampoo, and I would suggest it over and over and over again to anybody. The last hair product I have in here is this, and this is the Rakuten Wax Blast. This is Wax Blast 10. I don't know why 10, to be honest. Maybe it's its 10th rendition. I'm not sure. But this is considered a hairspray, but it's more of like a waxy spray. So whereas hairspray really kind of makes your hair kind of crunchy, this absolutely doesn't. Your hair is still malleable and you can move it around and it moves around on its own really healthily. But it does do a really good job of putting texture into your hair without a texturizing paste. And it does a really good job of keeping your hair where you want it to be, but it also adds a lot of shine, which I love from this product. So it is rather spendy. I think it's $28 for this little can here, but it lasts forever and it's really good. A really great alternative to hairspray. I don't know exactly what the chemical composition is of this either, but I do know that when I utilize this instead of hairspray, my hair feels a lot less dry than when I use hairspray straight up. So this is a spray wax, and I used to use like the Tiggy like bar wax, and I have found that I really like this a lot more. So those are all the hair products that I have. So then I have some tools that I would like to share. So first and foremost, Ifan, let me just tell you, like, I never knew that I needed one of these until I knew I needed one of these. And it's got 3 speeds on it. And it lights up. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yes, you absolutely can see the light in there. It lights up. It changes. It's so cool. You can also put water in this little reservoir here and it'll spray at you if you want it that way. I never do it like that because I am using this to like calm my face after spraying it with like a setting spray, or I'm using it to dry like a moisturizer or something, you know, from a more natural place. I love this thing. And it was like, I don't know, something like $10 on Amazon. It was really affordable. And I don't ever foresee me wanting to live in my makeup application days without one of these things. What I love most about this one specifically is it folds into itself, so I can stand it on in and it could be like a little personal fan without me having to hold it. But also for storage purposes, it folds up really nicely. So love this guy so much. I'll see if I can find it and put a link down in the description box for you, even though I'm really horrible about that kind of stuff. Another thing that I really, really love having is this, and this is so funny because this is not something I would expect I would have thought was the greatest thing when I first got it. It is one of those items that came in a bundle in a FabFitFun box. So, and I don't love those bundles. I think that they're full of a bunch of poop products, if I'm honest with you. But this is 2 silicone like Q-tips, but I obviously am not, I don't use these for like cleaning out my ears. I use these for makeup application. They are just so smart. Like, who would have ever thought that a reusable Q-tip would have ever been a thing that would have been on my list of products I really don't want to live without. What I love about these is they're silicone, so I can take the little rounded one and I can dip it into like a cream product or something like that and like put it into my inner corners. I can take the pointed one, which I love pointed Q-tips, dip it into some like makeup remover and kind of clean up the edges. I love this thing. I wouldn't even know where to find this because I got it from FabFitFun and in a FabFitFun box, but I'm super happy that it's in my life, and it was unexpected, to be honest. I think when I hauled that box in, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's one of my favorite items right now on the planet. Next thing is this. This is a little spatula that, I just got on a whim because I don't do a whole lot of like cleaning out my makeup, products. When I'm done with them, I'm done with them. When they're empty, they're empty. I don't typically take out the stopper and dig out all the product. I just feel like I got my money's worth if I can't get any more product out of it as it's naturally made to be used. But I have dug out product before, and that's where this guy comes in. Also, I use this. I'm a foundation mixer. I mix foundations all the time because I'd rather do that than have, 50 foundations in my collection that I have to buy for a summer shade or a winter shade. So I mix my foundations. This has come in handy to mix those foundations together on the palette that I have. This has also been a really great tool for like repressing items and whatnot. Super happy to have this in my collection. And then the last kind of tool that I have that I can't live without are these Benefit tweezers. Let me just tell you, these things, I can't even remember how much they were. Probably $20. I have Tweezerman tweezers. I absolutely love Tweezerman tweezers. These tweezers are the bomb. Like, I love these tweezers so dang much. If you're in need of a pair of new, really nice tweezers, really look at the Benefit tweezers at the Benefit Brow Bars at Ulta Beauty because they're super nice. They have this little brush on them, which I never thought I would use, but I really do like them for brushing my brows into place, but also like when I am tweezing my brows, brushing them down, tweezing what I need to on top, and then brushing them up, tweezing what I need to on bottom underneath. Really great tweezers. They're also amazing for applying lashes. I don't know why, but these are the best tweezers, and I think it's because they're so wide, but it doesn't take much pressure to hold them shut at all. And I find that with a lot of other tweezers I have, you have to apply a lot of pressure to keep those tweezers shut for things like lash application or whatnot. And I don't have necessarily the strongest hands. I've had carpal tunnel surgery in both wrists, so I don't have a lot of strength in my hands. So I really, really love those tweezers because it doesn't take a lot to keep them shut. They also easily grab onto the hair, pull them out, but they also have that nice little brush on them. So I'm sure that you can find a cheaper pair. I'm sure that you can, but I've not tried a cheaper pair that I like as much as I like those. So then I've got just a couple of products that I don't live without ever. So first and foremost, Cinema Secrets. This is a makeup brush cleanser that since first purchasing it, I think 4 years ago, biting the bullet and paying the $42 for this stupid makeup brush cleanser, I haven't lived without it. I purchase a new one every 6 months. I have a new one right here that I just purchased because it's almost empty. As you can see, I clean my brushes every single day after every single application. I don't reuse a brush until I've cleansed it with this. What I love about this is it's got a really nice smell to it. Even though it is a chemically smell, it's kind of like a vanilla chemical, so it doesn't stink a lot like chemicals, and it cleans my brushes and nothing flat. You just dip your brush into it, you wipe it off on a paper towel or a towel or some kind of, you know, mode to wipe your brush off on, and your brush is clean. 99.9% of bacteria is killed with this, and it dries quickly, so my brushes can be cleaned and then used again that very same day, which I love. I use this to clean in between uses. I, of course, deep clean my brushes as well, but that one I use to clean in between uses, and I can't do life without it, and I can't do makeup without it, in my humble opinion, because I would get so pissed off if I had to clean my brushes. Because I'm so anal retentive, I won't use a dirty brush. So if I had to clean my brushes every time I wanted to use them in the deep clean fashion, I wouldn't enjoy doing makeup, just saying. The next item is kind of a skincare product. It is a skincare product. This is the Clinique Clarifying Lotion. I have number 2. It comes in 1, 2, and 3 for different skin types. This is a twice a day exfoliating lotion. I love this stuff. You can see this is full, but it's because I have the pump version of this. So you just put like whatever you're using on top and pump it out, and it pumps into your poof or your, you know, cotton round or whatever it is that you're using. So I buy the bottles and then refill this. I think I've repurchased this product probably 8 times since first trying it 4 years ago, and I won't do my makeup without it. I can see a difference in how the makeup lays on my skin if I'm using this or not using this. So, and it definitely lays better if I am using it. Go into one of your local Ulta Beauties and ask your Clinique rep there for the tape test. It's insane. It's insane. So, just saying. Another, I guess, skincare slash makeup-y product that I wanted to talk about is this guy here. This is the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. This is SPF 40, and this has become one of my favorite sunscreens, and I think because it doesn't break me out, and it is clear, and it is probably the best like sunscreen that I have ever used that can also function as a primer. So I don't feel like I'm putting 500 different items on my face when I am using this guy as a sunscreen, because I can use it as a primer also. So it's got a really nice like silicone-y almost texture to it, and it feels like silk going on the face. And it does a really good job, I feel like, of being a sunscreen. I also like it when I'm not wearing makeup on my face because of the texture of it. And it kind of lends a little bit to, I don't know, healthy looking skin, but it truly just goes on so silky and beautiful and not greasy. Kind of feels like a powder after you apply it. It is just the weirdest thing, but also totally clear. So I love, love, love that sunscreen. Like, it just looks so good and moisturizing. Can you guys see the shine in this hand here versus the other hand? I feel like it's just pretty. It's a pretty sunscreen. It's a good sunscreen. And I don't feel like it's greasy, whereas like this one that I'm currently trying to use up, I feel like is kind of greasy. The Laneige Sleeping Mask for your lips. This has been a reoccurring favorite on my channel, and the biggest reason why is because this lip balm, lip mask, is one of the only lip products that I have in my collection that my youngest daughter suffers really bad from chronically chapped lips. And when they get really, really bad, I know that if I allow her to use this or get her own, which I have started doing, her lips just stay soft and supple and beautiful and not cracked and chapped and bleeding. So this is a product that I not only love for myself, but also love for my family as far as keeping your lips moist and healthy. And when they are chapped, because I haven't used it for however long or whatever, it does a really good job of reviving them and bringing them back in. I do believe the rest is makeup. I do believe. Okay, so some easy peasy ones to start. Let's start with eye primers. So I do have some eye primers that I absolutely love that I don't want to live without. One of them is a glitter glue. It's the NYX glitter primer. Look, I've tried a lot of tacky primers, and this is by far the best one that I have found for keeping the glitters on my eyes without them falling out all over all throughout the day. It's also not as sticky to the touch, where when I put it onto my lid space and then pull my finger off, like part of my lid is coming with it, if that makes any sense. Not the skin, I'm not skinning myself, but it's one of the only ones that I have found that is comfortable not only to put on and wear, but also keeps the product where I want it to be all day long. So really good drugstore option also for a glitter primer. The other two primers that I have one drugstore and one high-end. I do love the Ulta Beauty matte eyeshadow primer, and you guys can see like this is almost gone at this point. I use this all the time. The only thing I don't love about this is that it doesn't come in any kind of colors. There is one color and one. I wish it came in white. I wish it came in white because I wear a lot of eye makeup that looks like this, and if it came in white, then that would negate the fact that I needed to also have a white based primer for my eyeshadow looks, because this can come across as very kind of dark almost. I like to wear this on my like natural eye makeup days, my browns, my blacks, my neutral eye looks, or if I'm going really, really deep with an eye look, because this does not necessarily match my skin tone wholeheartedly. And when you have shades like that in a primer, it can impact how the shadow shows up on your eyes. So I don't love it for like my bright vivid looks, but I do love it for like an everyday eye look kind of eyeshadow primer. It's got a nice like moisturizing nature to it without being too greasy or slippy, and it's also dry enough that I don't feel like I need to set it prior to putting some kind of eyeshadow that maybe works better on an eye primer that is drier. So really love this eyeshadow primer. Super easy to put on, feels really nice and moisturizing on the eye. The one that I really like for like my more vivid eye looks is going to be the ABH eye primer. This is one that I fell in love with last year. I had like sample after sample after sample that I had gotten in like some Ulta Beauty like sample bags that they send you sometimes with orders, until I finally didn't get another sample and couldn't live without it. So I think I went through 3 sample size, and sample sizes are just a little bit smaller than this. They lasted forever, but I went through 3 of them last year before I finally went and purchased what is considered a full size at the store. I think this is $13, so not a bad price point. I do think that this one is $12. So, but this one is considerably smaller than the Ulta Beauty brand one. This has definitely got a white base. It definitely blanks out your canvas for your eye looks, and it looks phenomenal under Vivids. It's also kind of a drier texture for a wet eyeshadow primer, if that makes any sense. It goes on wet but feels dry and dries really, really nicely on an eye, so that when you're putting a shadow over the top of it, it doesn't stick and just place pigment in one spot and be super hard to blend out. I love this so much. And Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion reminds me a lot of this, only this is white and that is not, and that one irritates my eyes and this does not. So I don't know what the difference as far as the formulations go, but I can't live without this eye primer. Speaking of white bases. Another thing that I cannot live without is this shadow stick by NYX. This is the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. And I can't live without this for multiple reasons. Number one, before I found this was my white eye base. This is a little bit too creamy, and I do feel like my shadows do crease when I am wearing this underneath them because it wasn't really built to be a base, right? It is a shadow stick. It's meant to be an eyeshadow. I do feel like it's a little too creamy for some eyeshadows to go on top of, but what I also love this for specifically is brow bone and inner corner. So it's not on my inner corner today, but it is in my brow bone. It's the white that is along my brow bone specifically. I love this pencil for that because it's matte, it's not sparkly, it blends so easily, and it is just beautiful. If I'm wearing a bright, brilliant eye look and I don't have like lime green or yellow in the inner corner or whatever color, then I will use this eyeshadow stick as that inner corner color as well. It just does something to make the eyeballs pop. I love this so much. I think that is probably my 6th one of those, and the, you know, almost 6 years that I've been doing makeup. Another thing that I really like for my eyes is the LA Girl Neon Shockwave liners. These are just by far the most pigmented, and I have more than this. I think I have 12 of these guys. The most pigmented liners on your waterline. They stick around, they're super pigmented, they're super creamy, so it doesn't take a lot of work to get them on your waterline. I also use them to tightline. I think that they are phenomenal, and they are brilliant in color. Like when I say brilliant, I just mean like bright. Like that is the yellow. That is a bright yellow. This is the blue. I have had a lot of colored eyeliners because I really like a colored liner on my lower lash line specifically that just don't stay or show up in the way that these do. And these are like $5. So really great eyeliners that I don't want to be without. Like I said, I think I have like 12 of them. I really hope that LA Girl never stops making those. And as far as mascara goes, this would be something that I have to have in my collection. I have to have a blue mascara. I don't know why, but something about blue mascara makes me feel like a badass. And this blue mascara is by far the best. It is the Bad Gal Bang by Benefit, and I don't use blue mascara every single day, but look at how vibrant this blue is. Like, it is by far the best, and it shows up, this blue also. It is a beautiful thing to have a purple eye look, or even like the eye look that I have going on today, with a blue mascara on your lashes. Like, such an amazing thing that blue mascara does to an eye look. But this is probably the 4th one of these that I've purchased because I don't use blue mascara all the time. So I don't feel like this is a mascara that I need to throw away every 3 or 4 or 6 months, which is probably gross. But I have had at least one a year in my collection. I do throw them away after like a certain amount of time because I just feel some sort of way of putting them on my eyelashes. But this is easily the 4th one I've purchased. So last thing I think for eyes is going to be these. These are the Urban Decay Heavy Metal liners, and they are glitter liners. So why I say I can't live without these is because I am not a glitter person. I don't love glitter on my eyes, but if I'm gonna wear glitter, this is the glitter that I want to wear. Listen, the Stila ones go everywhere, and while I think that they are impactful, I do not love wearing them. I'm terrified of those little glitter shards making their way into my eyeballs. What I can say about these is that this glitter doesn't go anywhere. It's like suspended in this, like, I don't know, glue of sorts, because once you put it onto your eyes, it really doesn't move. It's not going to fall out all over your face. It's not going to fall into your eyes. And I have used these on my inner corner before and felt completely comfortable using them on my inner corner. This one is half gone. I don't know if you guys can see the voiding in this, but I use them so frequently because they're just beautiful. I actually have one in my project pan right now because these are pretty old in my collection. I don't even know if they sell these anymore, but let me just tell you, if they do not, it's a mistake, because look at how pretty this glitter is. It's just so impactful and so pretty, but doesn't go anywhere. I've used these as graphic liner before. I've used them in my eyebrows before. I've used them on my inner corner before. They're just so pretty. So I can't live without them. I have 4 vials of them. I also have a Too Faced glitter pop. Do you remember when they made that went on? It's the same kind of process, only it like literally stuck and you had to like peel it off. That's horrible. These you don't need to peel. They come off when you wash them with a makeup remover. They come off super, super easy. They're not painful to use, and they don't go everywhere all over the place. So for those of you that aren't a fan of glitter, but like glitter, this would be a good option for you. I do have one eyeliner that I would love to talk about that is a liquid eyeliner. And this is a recent Can't Live Without. So this is my first one. So I feel kind of weird coming to you with a Can't Live Without it, even though it's my first one. I already have one in my cart to repurchase. I just started using this probably a month and a half ago. But what I will tell you about this eyeliner, this is the Hindash eyeliner. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's just the Hindash eyeliner. This eyeliner goes nowhere. I got a facial done like 2 weeks ago while I was in Oregon last, and the skin therapist was wiping my eye makeup off, and she took her little cotton rounds and got eye makeup remover on them and stuck them to my eyes and stuck them there for a while, you know, because they don't like to like rub at your eyeballs, right? Stuck them there for a while and then pulled them away and said, okay, your eyeliner, it's not going anywhere. I could not, she was using makeup remover. I could not believe how well this stays on your eyes. Now, that might mean it's hard to get off at the end of the night. I will say it does take a little extra effort, but it's not like scrubby effort. I take my makeup erasers, I take my Clinique Take the Day Off balm, and I just rub my eyes, right? Rub it around on my eyes, and then I take my makeup eraser and wipe my eyes, and it might take a little bit more effort in the outer corner there, but it comes off with like Clinique Take the Day Off balm. I have sworn by that stuff for years. I've told you guys it takes off everything. I have recommended it to a person who needed something to take off stage makeup. I think that Clinique Take the Day Off balm works leaps and bounds better than anything else, and I don't know why I don't have it in here, but here you go. This is an amazing, stays all day, no matter the circumstances, liquid eyeliner. I don't ever want to be without this liquid eyeliner. I could probably get rid of every single other liquid eyeliner in my collection and just purchase this one over and over and over again. Some brow products I love. You guys aren't going to be surprised. I have the Benefit 24-hour brow setter and the Benefit Precisely My Brow. The Precisely My Brow I specifically brought in because I like a lot of Benefit brow pencils, but this one is in gray, and I specifically like the gray one in the Precisely for my brows to bring back the coolness into my brows that I like to have in my brows when my hair is maybe a vivid color. When your hair is vivid, your brows look really weird if they're too warm. So I started using this 4 years ago when I went to my first FLC, and one of the Rams said, have you tried our gray on your brows before? And I was like, no, you're crazy. I don't need gray brow hair. But she put it into my brows, and what it did for me is just kind of cool down the natural warmth in my, you know, more kind of reddish, blondish, brownish eyebrows. So even when they're not tinted, they still look beautiful with the Vivids that I have going in my hair. Right now, I'm not currently using this in my brows, and you can see they're quite warm up here at the top, at the front, and it's because I'm using shade 4.5 in the Gimme Brow Plus volumizing pencil, which I also love, but I need to get it in gray because this precisely my brow in gray specifically is my hands down can't live without it brow pencil. And then the 24-hour brow setter is a product that I have sent out to people, and those people are now addicted to it. This brow product, this brow gel, has a really interesting wand in that it is flat and it has like little spikes on one side and big spikes on the other. It's really good at getting into all the areas, and because it's flat, it's also really good at like managing your tail in your brows. With that also said, it is a brow gel that doesn't make your brows feel crunchy, but does keep them in place. So love this product specifically for more natural feeling brows and more natural looking brows, while also keeping them tame and in place. Some brow gels you get have like really crusty in your brows. I don't find that to be true for that product at all. So really, really love that product. When I think about lips, like I have a lot of favorites. There isn't one that I don't want to live without, except for like maybe Fenty. I really love the Fenty lip glosses. I really love the Lunar Beauty lip glosses. I really love the Lawless lip fillers, but I really couldn't think of one that I wouldn't live without. Like, I love lip gloss, but I have so many different, there are favorites that I have, there are favorite brands that I have, but if I had to live without them, I would find a different favorite brand, right? And the same can be said for all of these products, I guess, but when I think of those kind of things for lip products, the only lip products I can think of that I don't want to live without is the Laneige Lip Balm, Lip Sleeping Mask, and ColourPop lip liners. Listen, I really also love the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, but these are like $6 and they are so creamy and so nice, and you don't tug at your lips at all to put them on. They just feel good, and they come in so many different colors. Like, there's never ever going to be an option for you not to have the color that you need from a ColourPop lip liner. They're also, like I said, really, really creamy. The only thing I hate about these things is that the dude inside of here, the lead, if you will, it just comes out. But that doesn't stop it from being an amazing pencil. And as long as that part is not all the way out of the pencil, I don't feel like these ever dry up. Like, these still feel as creamy as they did the day I purchased them. And I do think that these are probably 4 years old at this point. So really, really love the ColourPop lip liners. There isn't a lot from ColourPop that I swear by, but I definitely swear by these guys and don't want to be without those lip liners in my collection. I have probably 30. When I think of base makeup, there are 3 things really that come to mind. This is the MAC Medium Studio Fix Conceal and Correct palette. And when I first purchased this, I purchased it on a whim because I was just like, well, I need to have, I think I was purchasing like buy, 7 MAC products and get all 7 for kind of like the Tarte Make Your Own Tarte makeup bag, but MAC did it at one point in time. And I got this because I was like, well, I always use correctors, I could use this. And when I got it in, I was like, these really aren't correctors. These are more like foundations with a yellow and a peach corrector. And that is the truth. That is the truth. And I love this so much for that, because I don't love foundation. I don't. I like a skin finish, a really lightweight foundation, something that shows my skin still but doesn't make me feel like I'm not done, you know, and something that covers those parts of my skin that I maybe don't love, like if I have redness or if I have like some kind of breakout or whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. I used to have melasma pretty bad, and coverage of that was super important, but otherwise I just don't love the feel or the texture or the heaviness of foundation. So when I purchased this, I thought it was a corrector. I got it in and I'm like, that's like foundation. That's so stupid. This has become one of my, and I think that you can see it is just really, really dirty. The only two shades I really haven't used are these two here. I just feel like one's maybe too deep and one's maybe too orange, but I'll try them. I'm sure I will. I use the poop out of this all the time. I take it with me traveling all the time because I don't want to wear a foundation every day, but I do want to look put together, pulled together. This is what I use. I use it for under eye correcting. I use it for camouflaging, you know, redness or pimples. I use it for everything, and up to and including the foundation that I put on my face in the areas that I want it to go without having to put it all over my face. I love this thing. I, again, don't even know if they make this anymore, but I love it. As far as foundations go, one of my favorite ones and one that I'd never want to be without in my collection is actually the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. Now this is a tinted hydrating gel cream. It's got SPF of 30 in it as well. You don't put on enough of this to not also wear an SPF with it. Let's just be clear about that. But this one is in the shade Natural. I've also had it in Buff, another color as well. What I didn't love about this when I first tried it was its texture. It is very like almost hair gel-esque. It comes out really, really weird and kind of in this like puddle with this like dollop of like gel to it. It's a very, very strange texture. But what I will say about this is it is beautiful on the skin. I feel like this is maybe a summery color for me because it's going on a little bit more orange than I would anticipate. But look at just how beautiful that is on the skin and how it just sinks in and creates skin. This is definitely too orange for me, or maybe I need to shake it up a little bit, but it's just beautiful, and it's got really nice skin loving ingredients to it. It's really lightweight, but gives you a nice amount of coverage so that you don't feel like you're wearing a ton of makeup, but you look put together. This is probably my favorite because it is so good to your skin. My skin looks and feels better after using this product for multiple days in a row than it does with any other tinted skin product that I have. And I think that it's because this is also hydrating. It's much like a moisturizer, but kind of has the consistency of like Clinique Moisture Surge almost. I mean, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's so good to your skin. Also, when my skin is having issues during the summer with dryness, I use this all the time because it's nice and hydrating and also lends to the coverage, but doesn't like exacerbate all the dryness on my face. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. As far as like a contour or a bronzer goes, there's one contour stick that I really, really love and hope to goodness they never get rid of, and it is the Fenty Match Sticks, and this one is in the shade Amber, right? This shade is just perfect for contour in my humble opinion. It is the best contour that I have in my collection, and I wouldn't want to be without this. I don't contour very often anymore, but when I do, this is the shade this is always the shade that I want to go for when I'm contouring. The next thing I have is a bronzer, and when I was going through my color cosmetics collection, thinking about the products that I really wanted to bring into this, maybe not necessarily that I have purchased 100 times, because y'all know it takes forever to go through a bronzer. It takes forever to go through a blush. But it was about those products that I usually pull in when I think that I've gone too far with another product, or that product is maybe patchy and I need to fix it. So when I think about a bronzer that does that for me, it's the LYS bronzer, the No Limit Matte Bronzer in Motivate. This is the lightest that they had at the time that I purchased it. I'm not sure if it's still the lightest or not, to be honest. And this does lean a little bit yellow. And for me, that's perfect. For you, it might not be perfect, but what I have found about this is that it leans yellow enough that it blends into my personal skin tone so easily that it fixes any kind of problems that I get when applying a bronzer to my face. So if I have a bronzer that's applying and it's not applying the best, I've gone a little ham with it, or it's just too patchy, I always pull in this bronzer to fix it. As far as blush goes, I think if you've been around, you know about this one because it was in my project pan all year last year, and I was like, I'm going to throw it away at the end of the day, and then ended up keeping it because it started off as my fixer blush, and then I stopped using it for whatever reason. When I put it into my project pan last year, I realized why it used to be my fixer blush. This doesn't have the best pigmentation in my humble opinion. It doesn't have a real vibrant out there color, but what it does have is a perfectly formulated powder that goes over the top of anything else that you're putting on your cheeks and helps create like consistency with any other color that I put on. Much like the LYS bronzer, if I put on a blush and have gone too ham with it, or if I put on a blush and it is performing a little bit patchy, or I put on like a cream blush that I absolutely hate, this is the blush that I pull for to fix it. And you guys can see it's got a giant pan. This is the only blush in my collection that has a pan at all, let alone one that's this big. So this is the Pretty Vulgar Make Them Blush in Hush blush. And I love this blush. It's so pretty. I got it in a BoxyCharm eons ago, and it's still going strong. It still performs beautifully, and I don't want to be without it, which is why I keep it in my drawer and hardly ever pull it out. So, because I don't think that they sell it anymore. This is one of the last products I have. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush in Party. So for me, it's not only the shade of this blush, but it is also the formulation. I love the Amazonian Clay blushes. I think that they are beautiful, and their wear time really is phenomenal. I have the Blush Bazaar that has this size of like 10 other blushes in it, or 8 blushes and 2 highlighters, whatever. These blushes are phenomenal. For me though, this color is also much like this one. It's not super pigmented and it doesn't take over my face, but what it does do is fixes any blush that I have put onto my face that maybe is coming across kind of patchy, or I went too ham with it. This is also a shade that is light enough that it just kind of fixes whatever it is that's underneath it and makes everything just look so consistent. But it also kind of has a little bit of a sheeniness to it, like glowy. So it looks super healthy. It's just such a beautiful, low key, unexpected color of blush that just does magical things. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, because I forgot to talk about it with my blue mascara, is the other kind of mascara, and it's not necessarily this one, but it is the kind of mascara, and this one is actually quite good. The one that I actually fell in love with to begin with is the Thrive Cosmetics one, but it is a tubing mascara. So if you do not have or have never tried a tubing mascara, first and foremost, where have you been? But secondarily, these are the best mascaras to use on your lower lash line because they absolutely do not transfer. You do not end up with panda eyes. But in addition to that, I've been wearing lashes a lot lately because I have found that mascara is irritating my eyeballs something fierce lately, to the extent that, like, at the end of the day, if I'm wearing mascara, I feel like I'm going blind. So either I'm wearing my mascaras too long, they're new mascaras, so I know it's not about them being old, but when I'm using a tubing mascara, that doesn't happen. So I'm thinking it's because they're flaking into my eyes and the makeup is irritating my eyes. I'm not sure how that is. I'm not a chemist, so I'm not sure what it is that is irritating my eyes, but I know when I wear mascara, it is so irritated that at the end of the day, I feel like I can't see. When I'm wearing a tubing mascara, that isn't the case. So I really love a tubing mascara. What I will say about this one specifically, this is the Cali Ray, what is this, Come Hell or High Water one. This one I love a lot for the volume that it gives. The Thrive one I love a lot for the length that it gives. So really, really love the Thrive one for length. Really, really love this one for what I feel like is it's giving me in volume. But I've only used this one on my lower lash line. I've used the Thrive one on my upper lash line as well. This is fairly new. I got it with a Rouge reward from Sephora. I've heard a lot of things about it and I wanted to try it. So sneak peek into what I purchased in my collection for my Beauty Bank, my makeup rehab series. But I love this. I love tubing mascaras. If you too suffer from raccoon eyes or all the things and you hate putting mascara on your lower lash line because of that, try a tubing mascara. They're pretty phenomenal. So that's it, you guys. That's it. That's all I got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a big thumbs up, liking it, commenting on it down below. It really does help our channels out here. With that said, I do hope that you liked it and you liked me enough that you'll want to subscribe before you go. I would love to have you as a part of my YouTube fam here, but otherwise, just thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you and yours are well, that you're healthy, and that you're safe, and that you are loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.